everyone, this is gonna be my second video as makeup for not making any videos on Friday, which I apologize. But instead of talking about stuff in the United States, I'm gonna be talking about our neighbors to the north, Canada. 2019 is a big year for them. There's a federal election that's going to be coming up. In fact, it's scheduled to take place on October 21st, 2019. This could easily change if elections are called early, but the likelihood is that it's going to happen on the 21st of October. So again, it's a pretty big year. It's definitely a big year for Justin Trudeau and his Liberals, and the Conservatives in general, because right now, Justin Trudeau is not doing too good. Currently, according to the Huffington Post, he is at 35% approval rating. Now, take that in perspective when you look back at the first month of him in office. He was at 63%, a massive drop. And ever since then, it's just been garnering support for the Conservatives and anyone who's not Trudeau or any of the Liberals. And honestly, I think that this would spell doom for the Liberal Party of Canada, in my honest opinion. I think that the Conservatives are going to take advantage of that. Now, I saw in a few polls that the Liberals are just lead by 1 or 2 points, which it could be correct, but I think that they're giving the Liberals too much credit because of because throughout, ever since the election, which I think happened in 2011, Justin Trudeau and his Liberals had majority control of the entire Canadian government, and they had huge support amongst trying to deal with certain stuff on the Liberal agenda and on Trudeau's agenda, like ISIS fighters returning home, the support of the UN Migration Pact, the carbon tax, which I'm pretty sure any Canadian who is watching this is definitely familiar of. And that's not just to say of the political correctness and the stagnating economy that Canada is currently suffering right now. And it's just really sad to see how badly Canada has become. I mean, originally Canada was a pretty well-respected country. It wasn't anything like the United States, but still, it was pretty well respected, and definitely would use any influence it can to spread out throughout the entire world its own influence. But ever since Justin Trudeau became Prime Minister, it's become a laughingstock. In fact, to go into bigger detail, I'm going to be linking down below Black Pigeon Speaks, I think his channel was, and he talked about how Canada is becoming the world's first meme country as a result, and he goes into further info about stuff such as Justin Trudeau's India trip, which was pretty ridiculous coming from someone who is not Canadian, and a few other things, especially that is happening in Canada, like the struggling oil economy in Alberta, and that's just the very tip of the iceberg. So I'm gonna let him explain that for himself. So I encourage you to watch his channel. Anyway, I think that all this that Justin Trudeau has been doing is just going to spell doom to the Liberals. I think that they are going to be wasted as fuck. I'm not even kidding. In Ontario, in Quebec, and in New Brunswick, the Liberals have just been annihilated. And that's just, and these provinces were, many of these provinces, like in Quebec, have been especially left-leaning. So concerning that they are getting rid of the Liberal Party within their respective provinces is saying something. So yeah, I honestly think that the Conservatives are definitely going to use this as a way to get further support, and eventually maybe even take up seats in the government. I'm pretty sure that Andrew Scheer or someone else is going to be the next Prime Minister, and that Justin Trudeau will be only a one-term PM. Now, I know that a lot of people have a problem with Andrew Scheer, but let's be honest. Who is the worst person so far? Justin Trudeau or Andrew Scheer? I would love to hear your comments below and why you say that. But anyways, I think that's what's going to happen. Andrew Scheer is going to be Prime Minister. The Conservatives are definitely going to have I think a majority in the Parliament. If they don't, unless they don't have enough seats in the Parliament, then they're gonna be, well, unless they have enough seats in the Parliament, they're gonna maybe have to form a coalition government with some other political party. Like I can't remember what it was called, but it was that French French Canadian shadow minister who decided to form his own political party as something similar to what Trump did with the Republican Party back here in the United States. So that's why I think would be the worst possible situation should the Conservatives or the opposition in general should go up against the Liberals and eventually win. Now, let's think about the possibility that Trudeau and his Liberals somehow, just somehow, manage to make it. I know a lot of the data doesn't prove that, but as we've seen from a lot of elections, a lot of the results have actually been kind of contrary. So I think it's important that we take a look at this kind of scenario. Justin Trudeau would definitely still continue as Prime Minister. At least in my personal opinion. I don't think that there's a lot of people in the Liberal Party, or at least the very heads of the Liberal Party and in the Parliament, to actually consider ousting Trudeau and putting in a new person. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's just because of the name recognition, and he's sort of like Obama. He is the face of the Liberal Party of Canada, and to get rid of him with someone no one really knows would kind of backfire them. But either way, I think that this could be a huge bad scenario, or a bad scenario either way for the Liberals, because a lot of people around Canada, especially in the western part of Canada, like in Alberta, hate him, and it's actually fueled a lot of separatist movements. Now, I'm not sure if there's gonna be enough support for a referendum to occur to get Alberta to officially secede from the Canadian Confederation, but you never know. I do know that there's definitely going to be massive protests and maybe even riots, and a further divide between the east and the west parts of Canada, all due to economics and especially political ideology. So either way, I do not think that the Liberal Party, whether they win or lose the election, is going to have a good is not going to have an easy time governing Canada. Yes, they may still have control over Canada, but they will still be obstructed by the opposition, who I'm pretty sure will have gain major seats in Parliament, and especially from all other parts of Canada. I mean, at this very point, every single province hates Justin Trudeau. I think the only one that least hates him is, I think it's Ontario, where his approval rate is 46%, and his disapproval rate is 48%. But I can't exactly remember. But either way, the Liberals are just, they're through. They're completely through. As long as Justin Trudeau is the face. And as long as they continue with these policies, especially with the carbon tax. I honestly think that this election may be the Achilles heel for the Liberal Party. Much as like the 2016 election was for the Democrats here in the USA. But it could very well change. In fact, it could very well change in terms of what the election results may be in the future, and especially who is still leading the Conservatives and Liberals at that point. But still, I don't think that there's going to be any change to the status quo, except for a change of seats from the Liberals to the Conservatives by a major landslide. That is my major prediction for the upcoming Canadian federal election. And that is coming from someone from the United States. And I hope the Conservatives manage to get in there and undo everything that Justin Trudeau did. I may not be a Canadian, but this angers me to the very core. As a person who believes in individual freedoms, and who doesn't like the idea of pandering to other people for past wrongs when this generation never actually did it. So I really hate that, and I really hate the fact that Justin Trudeau actually still considers the idea of keeping Canadian citizenship for ISIS terrorists and to return them home. I never understand this man's logic. And that is why I hope to God that someone in the opposition manages to take back Canada. Same thing as how Donald Trump did in the United States. Make Canada great again. My name is Noah on The Arg Truth. Please post your comments down below, subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends. Bye.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain.